It used to be a good deal to get into a relationship, to get married. It used to be. Not anymore. People nowadays are more independent and strong, and to be in a relationship, maybe, maybe a situationship, right? I think that's the most ideal. No strings attached, something casual or many casual, you know, situationships. Yeah, I think that's the most logical because it is an extraordinary situation we are living through. I mean, this is not going to hold forever. That's why I think we are monogamous, but polygamous under extraordinary situations. It's not normal to be polygamous. It's not healthy to be polygamous. Oh no. When a man spends too long by himself without contact, being rejected, they start developing ideas. Yeah, ideas can become very dangerous. Imagine if they get together and decide, I don't know, to overthrow or to invade or I mean remember that in the past there was wandering armies. It was not a single man, they just couldn't find a woman, so they would join a group of and they would just pillage and rape. Yeah, it's the most dangerous situation is that. So monogamy is actually saving humanity from war. It's only when it gets polygamous that it gets warmonger, you know? Because men are frustrated, sexually frustrated. I went on a tangent. Uh, so, getting together was a good deal. This country where I live met the Industrial Revolution a bit late. It has always been orientated towards agriculture up until the 70s. So my grandparents, in the time of my grandparents, it was a good deal to get together. The criteria was, is he a hardworking or is she a hardworking person? And are they honest? So someone would vouch for them. Honest part is ruled out. Are they hardworking? They would check if there are calluses in their hands, and that's it. So why did you choose him? It's just a guy. Why did you choose her? It's just a girl. You know, when you're young, you're horny anyway. But unconditional love, that's something that comes with time. Eventually comes with time, or will never come with time. It depends. But I would hope that unconditional love would come with time. Well, traditionally, normally, it's out of your parents that you receive unconditional love, not from your partner, your spouse. It will come with time, and when it comes, the ultimate form of love is respect. Yeah, and if you start, immediately respecting your partner, I suppose you are, on a good track right away. That's the key. It's respect. So if there's respect, there will be unconditional love eventually. Anyway, nowadays it's not no longer, a good deal. Everybody's strong and independent. They have their own salary. Yeah, they go out. They get a job. They study. They get a job and get a career, and they have fun. And they get some plane ticket, every once and then to visit some place. They pay their taxes. They pay the bills. Maybe, you know, around 30, 40, maybe you'll decide to settle with someone quote unquote settle, who wants to have a child as well. Maybe you'll able to get pregnant, maybe not. Pregnancy becomes very difficult after 27. Yeah, it becomes problematic. And this is a result of modernism, modern day, civilization with all of these technologies and whatnot. It's what is splitting people apart. The same thing will happen to other cultures that are experiencing or will be experiencing technology, industry. They will be, emulating the same behavior, because marrying is no longer such a, awesome deal. Being single is better, independent. You are more individual. You tolerate less others because you can, pay for it. You can afford it. Someone farts while you're sleeping. Okay, I'm getting a divorce. People divorce for the smallest reasons nowadays because they can afford it. Hmm? Of course, there might be regrets in the future because it becomes difficult, to find, someone to put up with you after you're 40. It becomes way more difficult. And if you don't have children, maybe your, biological clock starts, screaming, and some people panic and they go into antidepressives and other psychotropic drugs, trying to, yeah, it's not easy, but what used to be a good deal, it's no longer a good deal. Getting together, getting married, even the most traditional, culture, if they let industry take over, they will start emulating the same behavior, unless, it's a culture that's still living, 2000 years ago, hasn't evolved, their mentality, they are still locked in dark ages, like that religion that we can't speak of. That book, that code, it micromanages every inch, every second of their lives. So since 2000 years ago, and maybe those will resist the temptation of, the nihilism that brings industry and independence. Yeah. Funny thing, when industry, settles in a country, they go into the moon, they travel to the moon. The latest was the Indians, I suppose, from India. They also visit the moon. Look at how science is might, how industry and engineering is might. We can travel, to the moon. You know, it's to give enthusiasm to the, unit of production, the one who works at the factory. It's to give them something. It's also almost like a mental, control thing, like a magic trick. Anyway, demographics is also a consequences of this. When everybody's strong and independent, kind of forget having children. And the ones who are complaining the most is the landlords. They see the value, the value of their property going down because there's not enough competition. So they rather, flood, have their, neighborhoods flood with strangers. At least they will have someone, to keep them afloat. Otherwise, they're going to have to find another way of living. So I still maintain the idea that we are monogamous. To raise, you know, healthy human beings, you need a mommy and a daddy. The daddy is discipline, mommy is the heart. Daddy goes out and finds, resources. The mommy stays home holds everything together and raises, children. Is more the heart fire. That's the woman's, task. That's her place, I suppose. The heart fire. If they choose to abandon the heart fire and become some, career person, go ahead. I mean, no one's gonna, tell you no. You are free and strong and independent, but there's consequences to that. Children that are raised by career women, they are quite nihilistic. Basically, their adopted parents is TV and school. You know, a career person, just comes home tired and they don't want to hear problems or educate or whatever. So, so there's a rise in resentment amongst the newest generations. They don't want to be mommies and daddies. They had such a horrible experiment in life, and everybody's depressed. And this tendency will take over anyone who decides to go industry, who decides to go and become a unit of production in one of these factories. The objective was make the sacrifice, but maintain the family unit. It's a sacrifice you make. It's almost like working abroad. But do not let go of the goal. The goal is to maintain your autonomy, to maintain your family unit. You will make the sacrifice of working in a factory, but do not get seduced by modernity and start, um, spending that earned money in some luxury and vacations and bullshit. No, you will take it immediately to the hearthfire, to home. Yeah. And it's a mistake to let women out of the hearthfire because they will get influenced by the outside. You know, they will get ideas such I'm strong and independent, I don't need man, that sort of thing. Okay, this is just some thoughts. People have a lot more to choose from. Yeah. There's more choices. Since everybody's strong and independent, you're not going to settle. Someone better. Oh, I can do better. Oh, I've had better. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. And technology is also helping that because everybody is lying. I mean, the internet lies. It's not just not TV that lies. I mean, TV is a mental brainwash, but the internet also lies. Most people in social media nowadays are it's a job for views, for revenue, for the publicity revenue, for likes, for clicks, for it's a persona. It's not even real. It's a persona that they are playing, a character. They are influencers. They call themselves, or someone called them the influencers. It's lies. It's bullshit. It's just to trigger you. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. Most people nowadays they go on vacations just to take those pictures. Look at me, I'm here, I'm here, I'm there. Look at what I did, look at who I am with. Just to make someone else jealous. Clicks, views. Anyway, I think I'm going to shut up now. Have a nice day.